Deserts in the Black Community by Taylor Copeland. What is a food desert? Food deserts are areas or neighborhoods with little to no access to healthy food options. Supermarkets are usually a mile or more away, and with the lack of proper transportation, many of these poor income families cannot reach these healthy options. So they resort to going to convenience stores, fast food options, and choosing all these unhealthy options creates an unhealthy lifestyle. With few supermarkets or farmers market, it makes it easier to find a Slurpee rather than a smoothie. It's cheaper to get a Big Mac meal than grab a dinner at a salad bar. We see this in our own neighborhoods. At Cookout, you can get a whole cookout tray with fried processed food that is very unhealthy for you for $7. But when you go to Chipotle or Tropical Smoothie Cafe or a salad bar, many of these options range from $10 to $15 to $20, which is very expensive, and many people in poor income neighborhoods lack the money to buy these expensive healthy options. Food deserts lie in an intersection between poverty, food inaccessibility, systematic racism, and health. Due to the complex nature of the factors involved, there is no single cause to point to, but rather it is necessary to zoom out and see the larger picture to truly understand what leads to their formation. Let's look at the statistics. 8% of African Americans live in a community with a supermarket compared to 31% of whites. You see how this is so much different. There's 31% more supermarkets in their communities than us. Low-income zip codes have 30% more convenience stores, which tend to lack healthy option items than middle-income zip codes and high-income zip codes. For every additional supermarket in a community, produce consumption increases for 32% of African Americans and 11% of whites. So if we add supermarkets to these low-income neighborhoods, they will choose the healthy option. It might not be everyone, but we can impact some. About 23.5 million people live in food deserts. Nearly half of them are also low income. This just shows you why our obesity rate is so high in the United States. How does this affect our community? These food deserts cause high rates of obesity in these low income neighborhoods. They cause health issues such as high blood pressure, heart disease, and high cholesterol. With all of these health issues, the life expectancy of these individuals in these low-class neighborhoods dramatically decreases. It is hard to keep a demanding job with these health issues and the weight that they have put on, causing financial issues. These financial issues in turn cause them to choose more unhealthy options. It is a cycle. It is a cycle that will continue until something is done. Many food deserts also provide limited or unaffordable health care services. This contributes to negative health outcomes for people living in these areas. They can't be treated for these diseases that they have gotten from these unhealthy options from this food desert, because in these poor neighborhoods they are charging them outrageous prices for health care. Why food deserts aren't our only problem. Food deserts may not have the best healthy options, but they lack the proper affordable healthcare options and physical outlets in these areas also. Low poverty areas have high healthcare, which is hard for many people in these communities to afford. So with all these bad food options, they rarely get checkups. So they may not even know that they have these health issues after eating all of this unhealthy foods, which also can make it worse because now they're getting sick without even knowing they're sick. Many communities lack the government funds to build or rebuild rec centers, playgrounds, and gyms to give proper healthy outlets, increasing the chances of obesity. So not only are they eating all of these unhealthy foods, but they don't have any outlets to exercise and even try to control their weight. College life. Let's relate this to our college life now. We can see this in our college community all near our college and our campus. is fast food options just walking distance away. But our supermarkets are far, needing a car, which most college students don't have till later in their college years. When we look at UNCG, they have options such as Create a Salad and Sandwich, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Chipotle, and Pita Delight. But we have options all near our campus, such as Cookout, Taco Bell, Sonic, Popeyes, Bojangles. Many of these fried, processed foods. There's rarely any healthy outlets near our let me repeat that, all black campus. Small stuff like this goes unnoticed, but we ourselves live in a food desert as college students. How do we as a black community make a change? Not only, yes, the government needs to make a change, but we, the black community, can make a change for ourselves. We can create community programs to rebuild parks, gyms, and rec centers. We don't need the government to fund a rebuild. Yes, that would help. Money would help. But we as a community can come out and volunteer and clean up the parks, clean up the rec centers, rebuild. There's many hardworking men who know who know how to build and use tools, and they can help build these rec centers. We can proposition or we can propose to the government officials to give tax breaks to those who build supermarkets in low-class neighborhoods. It is shown that most private-owned supermarkets refuse to build in low-class neighborhoods because they're scared of robberies, or they feel like people will steal and they won't be able to afford to buy the products that they are selling. So we can give government officials to give them tax breaks so they can build these supermarkets, or we can get government-owned supermarkets to be built in our communities. But all we have to do is talk to our government officials, go to these town meetings, go to write proposals, and come as a community. We can also create school programs to teach these children healthy eating options. This is free. We can have teachers or volunteers from the community stay after school or teach a class in the school to help them learn about healthy eating habits. Now, this is taught in health class, but most kids, they don't listen because it's taught by a white teacher. Now, I'm not saying that it should not be taught by a white teacher, but if it comes from someone of our own telling us this is directly affecting you. Our black community is a victim of systematic racism, and this is how you can prevent it from affecting you. We could also get the government to create affordable public transportation options, because many of them cannot afford bus passes all the time or passes to even go to get these healthy options from supermarkets that are 1 mile away. And then how will they transport all of these groceries back home, which is an inconvenience to them? They can establish bus stop farmer markets. Even if they are taking public transportation, we can put farmers markets right at bus stops, so when they get off the bus stop, there is healthy options for them to choose from, and they don't have to walk so far to get these healthy options. Not only that, the community can come together and create a community garden, creating healthy produce such as tomatoes, cucumbers, and other items such as lettuce, pickles, not pickles, but healthy options to give to the community so they don't have to rely on supermarkets. In conclusion, this is such an important issue in our community because so many people are dying from preventable diseases that were caused by unhealthy eating and unhealthy habits. We as a community continue to eat unhealthy, and the obesity rate continues to rise, meaning this problem is still highly significant. The government plays a big role, but the community can make small changes to also make a difference. We as a Black community have to come together. If they won't help us, we have to help ourselves. Because we are in charge of our own destinies. And here are my references. Thank you, and I hope